One of the most startling sights I have encountered anywhere in Africa is this approach to Yamoussoukro, the birthplace of the founder president of the Ivory Coast. All of a sudden, in the midst of the African countryside, this elaborate piece of modernity, almost out of the blue. A ghost town is usually a habitat where the people have already departed. But this particular ghost town is a place where the people haven't as yet arrived. A village turned into a city in tribute to President Houphouët-Boigny, just as America has christened its capital after its own founding father, George Washington. But this is no Washington, D.C. Yamoussoukro is an oasis of luxury in the midst of deprivation. All over Africa, development is distorted, priorities violated, and the continent has mortgaged its soul.
Hello there, Houston. We're reading you loud and clear, and we're coming up on Africa now, and we're looking for some thunderstorms.
Africa is the most tropical of all continents. Yet that is precisely why tropical Africa will be the last to launch its own spacecraft. Climate was the first cause of Africa's technological slowness. Foreign invasions were the second. The third cause is independent Africa's failure to correct the distortions. This program is about how climate, colonization, and our own poor judgment have retarded Africa's economic takeoff, frustrating our own attempts at development. It all began with nature's bounty, which helped to make tropical Africa a Garden of Eden. There's a joke in East Africa about the soil being so fertile that if you dig your finger into it, your fingernail will begin to grow. But if necessity is the mother of invention, abundance is the mother of inertia. Where nature is so bountiful, why should man in equatorial Zaire need advanced innovation? Nature has been quite kind to this particular part of Africa. The society is well endowed in terms of food. A big range of animals, different plants, not just now, but across the centuries. And because nature has been so kind, nature helped to make another decision for them. They never developed into a centralized kingdom. They never developed states. People in the savannah might have developed kingdoms and states, but here their social organization was more informal, more relaxed, precisely because of the bounty of nature. Abundance on the equator reduces the need for both organization and high technology. Forest dwellers in Zaire don't need either to survive. It's all very different in the frozen regions of the world. But what have winter and snow got to do with development?
Because of winter in the West, wearing clothes is not just a matter of sexual modesty. It's a matter of physical survival. Wearing shoes is not just a matter of social etiquette. It's a matter of avoiding frostbite. Now contrast this with our situation in tropical Africa. I grew up in Mombasa and I was running around barefoot. I played football barefoot. There was no such fear as frostbite. And there are societies in Africa that don't wear anything at all. They walk naked and proud. They can afford the luxury of being natural. But there has been a heavy cost in technology and in economic development.
Where the winds are cold, thicker walls are erected. Engineering begins to advance. Where warmth is a matter of life and death, fire is tamed and harnessed. Where the growing season is short, survival depends on planning for winter. For the Barabeg cattle herders of Tanzania, there was no such stimulus for development. Climate had not motivated them into flights of innovation or into a culture of long-term planning. The nearer an African society was to the equator, the less it needed elaborate shelters or complicated tools. The Barabeg could live with dignity without learning to live in luxury. For hundreds of years, there has been no need for them to change their ways. But the simple life has its dangers, sometimes even its catastrophes.
Jina lako mama? Jina la bwana?
Lack of planning has cost these Kenyans dear. They have allowed their herds to multiply beyond the capacity of the land to support them. Now, a Western charity has come to the rescue to buy the emaciated animals and distribute the meat as food aid. This aid is the dependency of desperation and need in a wrecked economy. But dependency has many other faces in Africa. The well-endowed supermarket shelves of downtown Abidjan in the Ivory Coast provides one illustration. This is former French Africa. Luxuries abound for the elite, but at a price.
It is a shopper's paradise, a kind of packaged Garden of Eden, with many of the items virtually forbidden fruit elsewhere in Africa. They even import drinking water from France. No wonder Idi Amin once admonished his fellow presidents, the French-speaking ones, what's wrong with our